There's a man going round taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame. Everybody won't be treated all the same. There'll be a golden ladder reaching down when the man comes around. Hear the trumpets, hear the pipers, 100 million angels singing. Multitudes are marching to the big kettle drum. Voices calling, voices crying. Some are born and some are dying. It's Alpha and Omega's kingdom come.
Wow, wiki wiki wow.
End of the world.
Welcome to another episode of The Other Side. And you know, as 2015 is drawing to a close, and we welcome back our sister Clarissa. I'm
Hello.
Wesley.
The awesome, iconic Clarissa is here once again.
Thank you. No applause, just throw money.
And this is Will.
What's up?
As 2015 draws to a close, I'm just filled with an empty feeling because October 2015 passed and I don't have a self-lacing shoes. I don't have self-drying jacket. I don't have a hoverboard and I don't have flying cars. So fuck it, I'm ready for the world to end. And that's what we're talking about is the human obsession with the end of the world.
It was only a few months back we were standing out in the middle of a lightning storm looking at the blood moon, and that was supposed
to be the end of the world.
Prophecy. Yeah,
Oh,
there
was
supposed to be
that?
some
Yeah.
prophecies
I did
and
not
some
know that.
stuff.
Before that, we
I
had
need to stay
2012.
informed about these things.
Yeah, 2012.
We had
a few years ago.
Y2K was just going to end everything.
Yep.
Yeah,
We didn't even know what it was.
our computer
People were just
somehow can't
scared.
flip over, but it can do all this other crazy shit.
So to go along with our obsession with seems like the end of the world or just being the last few, Hollywood has made bank on end of the world movies. So we'll be discussing some of our favorite ones.
And some of our least favorite ones.
Yeah, that's true.
First, I want to talk about one of my favorite ones is At World's End. A movie about a bunch of friends over in England. They're wanting to relive their youth, headed by Simon Pegg. And they want to do the Golden Mile, 12 pubs in one night, 12 pints in one night, and they end up stumbling across a threat to their town and threat to the world, and by the end of it, nothing is the same, and it is a funny, well-done movie, and it's great. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Wonderful movie. That's one of the good ones.
I would say Snowpiercer is my favorite end of the world movie. Basically, they're doing this global warming experiment, and it goes terribly wrong, and there's nothing but whiteout blizzard and absolutely freezing temperatures that nobody can live in outside of this train. But these people boarded the train right when the experiment was happening, and these people have been riding on this same train for years and years and years, and eventually they start to build a class system on the train, and so you have the poor people that are at the very back of the train who get treated like shit and treated like slaves, and then the very rich people who are at the front, and you can't even go to the front if you're in the back. And so I like it because not only does it have a lot of cool visual effects throughout the movie, but it's just, I like the way it examines the human psyche and how terrible beings can be to one another. And it's like, you would think in an end of the world situation, people would be coming together and trying to lift each other up. But honestly, if you had that many people on a train for years, they're going to create haves and have-nots. And so I just thought it was a really great movie. I won't spoil the ending because it has a really great ending. And if you haven't checked out Snowpiercer, it's on Netflix, and check it out.
You will.
I have to go way back to old school roots when I was just a kid. The first time I saw the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston. This whole time, obviously you know the story of Planet of the Apes, but the scene with him riding across the beach and there's this Statue of Liberty buried up to its neck, and you know he's basically, you know, you realize that as man, we through nuclear, you know, Holocaust, we destroyed everything, and the apes evolved and took
Maniacs!
over. Just
You blew it up.
iconic scene.
That always
One of my
reminds me of
absolute
Spaceballs,
favorites. Another one I think is kind of fun too is I Am Legend.
Yes, I Am
that
Legend
movie.
was a good one. Cure for Cancer Gone Awry.
Yes, that was a very good
I like
one.
the scene where he's walking down the neighborhood talking to the mannequins and trying to set up a date. It's kind of creepy and funny at the same time.
Exactly. Shows
Yeah.
how, person would lose their mind
Get
being
lonely.
isolated that long.
Very lonely. That was a very good movie.
Yeah. Another one I really enjoy is Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. Simply because it's one of the few romantic comedies I can stomach. And the world actually ends. They tell you right from the get-go, world's ending. The last attempt to stop this giant asteroid that's coming at the planet, it failed. So, humanity has so many days left, and it's about just a lonely guy played by Steve Carell, trying to reconnect with his lost love, and his female companion, played by Keira Knightley, also done excellently, trying to get back to her family and how they're very opposite people and the friendship they form, trying to help each other accomplish their goal. It is a great movie and worth watching.
So what's your favorite kind of end of the world? I mean, there seems to be common themes in a lot of these. The computers, the machines rise and take it over, like the Terminator or the Matrix. You got the zombie apocalypse, like Dawn of the Dead.
I would personally say something like Interstellar, because that seems something that could possibly happen. I mean, the planets go awry and all this galaxy type of shit is happening because, like, in Interstellar, they go through a wormhole and are basically trying to save humanity by turning things back, and like a one day is like 7 years, and it's just a really, really good movie. And I didn't really like Matthew McConaughey until I saw this movie, and he does a bang-up job in the movie, and it has really great special effects, and it's just very interesting, but you have to really pay attention to it.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I would have to say Machines in
Machines.
Matrix and T2, because I also see that one as being possible. We're constantly increasing our technology, and man is really striving for that AI. We want to say that we create artificial intelligence, and I really think these movies do paint a pretty accurate portrait, because I honestly think if we create a machine that is able to be self-aware, then it fear its own demise, then the only enemy it could possibly identify would be man, because we'd be the only thing that could turn it off, and I could really see it turning against us, especially since we designed it.
No.
Right. That reminds me of a movie that I saw recently that isn't that well known, but it's called Chappie, and it's about all these like robots that they create, and they totally take over the world, and there's like only like one good robot that exists that like somehow has a conscience. It was a really good movie, not well known, but I picked it up at Redbox, and it's really good.
There's Hugh Jackman's in that, isn't he?
Yes, I think so.
Here's one of the bad ones. End of the World, 2012.
Oh, yeah.
I hate this movie from beginning to end.
Me too.
With all of its
Shitty.
insane action set pieces and areas where it's like, no, John Cusack's dead. This guy's a limo driver. He's, I like John Cusack, but no, he didn't survive that.
I did like Woody Harrelson's.
I liked Woody Harrelson. My problem, though, was a scene Woody Harrelson's in when Yellowstone goes off. I hated that scene because I just thought, isn't that kind of game over right there? Did they need anything else to happen at this point? And then the boats, it's a bad movie. I don't know why Stephen King liked it. He did.
Yeah, I did really like that one, and how I was saying how I liked Interstellar as a space movie because I think that like space stuff could happen and end the world. But I don't like movies like Armageddon that did the space stuff. Like that shit was so terrible.
It was Star
And
it was
how was
Star
that
Wars.
so popular? I didn't get it. Like, I saw it and I was like, really?
My
And I was
favorite-
actually dating a guy at the time that was like, this is my favorite movie, and that was grounds alone to break up.
Speaking
terrible.
of Armageddon, one of my favorite things about that entire movie, it was the commentary with Ben Affleck talking about that movie, and a question he posed to Michael Bay, saying, wouldn't
us
it
what
be
you really think
wouldn't it be easier to train a bunch of astronauts how to drill rather than teaching a bunch of drillers how to be astronauts?
Yeah.
And he said Michael Bay's response was, shut the fuck up.
Didn't make no damn sense.
That sounds like Michael.
And then let's have
Mine-
Steve Tyler sing one of the creepiest songs when Liv Tyler is in that room.
And it's about his
really
daughter.
think about it. Yeah, it's creepy as shit.
I think
sad.
mine that drove me nuts would have to be The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh,
With the fucking
Really
ice.
terrible.
The
Oh,
ice.
God.
Everything's freezing and it's
It reminded
chasing
me
him
of South
down
Park.
the hall.
Total
Yes.
South Park.
yes, but that scene had some great action set pieces, and Roland Emmerich, director of that movie, and he struck He struck his fame with Independence Day, and then after that, he kept making Independence Day. With
Yeah,
Godzilla,
and that's
Day
always
After
so-
Tomorrow.
And we didn't even talk about aliens ending the world.
We haven't been there
Independence
yet.
Day's coming back again.
Yeah. But yeah,
War
2012
of the
had some
Worlds.
great action set
Yeah.
pieces and special effects, but just, yeah, the ice chasing him down the hallway, the dumbest damn thing I've
It
ever
almost
seen.
got to the point with movies like 2012 and The Day After Tomorrow where people, it seemed like, are like, special effects is enough. No one will notice how shitty this movie is.
Exactly.
And then you watch it when it's not in the theater and you're like, wow, this movie fucking sucks.
Exactly.
War of the Worlds was huge back in
Yes.
the day. They did a broadcast on the radio, and people, they were acting like it was real
Oh, the original's
live
fine.
news broadcast,
I like
and
the new
people were freaking out
Yes.
because they thought it was real, that aliens were going to take over the earth and
Yes.
exterminate mankind.
Oh.
And that's like, there were some, in the Tom Cruise version, there were actually some great scenes that were pulled right from the book.
exactly. Yeah, they
that
did a
were
very
like how
good
they
job.
did it.
I
pulling
liked
scenes
the
from
majority of the movie that Tom Cruise was in. I just didn't like that they get wiped out by bacteria.
And that
it
is-
seems like
yes.
such a
And that
freaking
is-
flaw in their system. How are you going to end the world
And
with bacteria?
unfortunately, that is from the original.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
the
how they
novel.
go down
Right.
originally. My problem with that is I could understand an alien organism being wiped out by germs. I mean, we just look at our own history with the Europeans coming over to the New World and the natives that were here that died from smallpox and stuff that the Europeans weren't really worrying about at that point. But it was a foreign virus. My problem with that story is the aliens' death machines were already here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had been here before. It made about as much sense as Signs. Why the fuck
Water?
attack a planet that is
forgot about
70% water
When water
when
takes you
water
out.
is your weakness?
It was like Wicked Witch of the West all over again. I'm like, really? That's your flaw?
That's your
Water?
flaw.
I'd have to say, though, that we all can agree the worst apocalyptic situation would have to be the zombie outbreak.
Yes, of course.
yeah.
We can fight some aliens and, whatever. With
I don't know if I
But
can
The
fight some
Walking
aliens.
Dead-
I wouldn't get that level of confidence. I would definitely. They would both
got
freak me
guns.
out. But zombies, yes, because I don't want to be eaten. I'd rather be
Right.
like lasered to
Yeah.
death than eaten.
Yeah, it looked pretty painless in War of the Worlds. but-
Exactly. You're just like, zip, you're gone.
Yeah,
Eating, they might start at your stomach, and it might take a while to die,
yeah, that's true. It
or your
might.
leg, or something.
So if you don't have any big plans for New Year's Eve, sit down and watch some end of the world movies. And from the other side, we just want to thank you for watching our show this year, and thank you again, Clarissa, for coming and being a guest host.
Absolutely.
And this is The Other Side. Happy New Year, and we're out.
Yes. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Hear the trumpets, hear the pipers, 100 million angels singing. Multitudes are marching to the big kettle drum. Voices calling, voices crying. Some are born and some are dying. It's Alpha and Omega's kingdom come. And the whirlwind is in the thorn tree. The virgins are all trimming their wicks. The whirlwind is in the thorn tree. It's hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
It's the end of the world as we know it.